Critical animation!
Tonight we are covering the American election 2016 and we are going to take a closer look at some of the political values the main candidates are promoting. This election is very exciting because for once we have two candidates that is not establishment. The establishment are based on corporations and they are investing in candidates. They then expect favors in return for their investments. Over many years, this has gone on and people are under pressure as a result of these policies implemented by the same corporations. Presidential candidate Bernie Sanders will not take money from these investors, but he is running for president and regular people are sending contributions to his campaign. This is why the election 2016 is so exciting. Now, let's take a look on some of the values of Hillary Clinton.
Well, actually, I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life. I have always fought for the same values and principles.
So, Hillary, do you think you are a moderate or a progressive candidate?
I take a backseat to no one when you look at my record and standing up and fighting for progressive values.
When you are a progressive, you want to change the political system. Human rights is a key value in the progressive mind. Some people call themselves progressive because they don't actually know what it means, or the word has been hijacked for some crazy idea, since the word progressive is a positive charged word. And it is indeed positive for 99% of the population. The main thing in USA for a progressive is to share the riches of production to build the country even better. Some say you are a moderate and not a progressive, Mrs. Clinton.
You know, I get accused of being kind of moderate and center. I plead guilty. I plead guilty. I plead guilty. I plead guilty.
Being a moderate politician, you have values whom are more conservative and less change. Revolution is a scary word for a moderate. And indeed, it's a scary word for the establishment too. The only progressive vote for Hillary seems to be a gender vote. And you can't vote on looks when we talk about being the chieftain of the free world. If you think the woman argument is good enough to be a progressive president, you are sadly wrong. Establishment don't care what race or gender the president are. They only care if they can buy the person, and buy they will. So it seems like Hillary wants to be both progressive and moderate at the same time. That is kind of hard if you ask Critical News. Bernie Sanders has joined up. And let's ask him about capitalism in politics and the state of America today.
Today, 99% of all new income is going to the top 1%. The top 1/10 of 1% now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Wealthiest Americans saw their wealth increase by $157 billion, which is more wealth than is owned by the bottom 130 million Americans.
So what Sanders is saying is that 1% of United States citizens are taking 99% of all new income. He also says that 0.10% owns 90% of all wealth in your country, and you still call yourself a democracy. Sanders also says that the same 1% have the same income as the bottom 157 million Americans' income. These same money grabbers and the so-called elite do support Hillary Clinton because they pay her so they later can use the president's power as their own puppet to do their bidding. And you people of America don't know who to vote for. Well, it should not be a hard decision after this information, people. If you don't vote for Sanders, do not complain about your government. You have the right, but it just sounds stupid. When you have this great opportunity for a real progressive president, even if it takes you 6 hours in the sun to do so.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
Clinton's campaign slogan? It's time. Time for what? We do not know, but I suspect it's more establishment.
We intend to be sure that everybody in this room and every child in this state is somebody.
Wow, Hillary's gonna make sure you is somebody. If you are in the room with her or in the state. That makes sense.
I've spent my life fighting for children, families, and our country, and I'm not stopping now.
Well, actually, I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life. I have always fought for the same values and principles.
I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples.
Do you think New York State should recognize gay marriage?
No.
No. Okay.
I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life. I have always fought for the same values and principles.
Will you say anything to get elected? Will you say anything to get elected?
Will you say anything to get elected?
Personal communications from my husband and me.
Only time I got on the internet, I did 2 emails, and I ordered Christmas presents from a reservation.
Mary Lou, Mary Lou, I can't go on living without you. Mary Lou, Mary Lou, I can't go on singing without you.